Hello and welcome. So, in this presentation, I'm going to share with you what my experience has been as a vegan. And I also got a lot of questions from many people, guidance, advice. So, I thought that I'm going to make this video and I'm going to summarize how to transition to a vegan plant based lifestyle. So, let's get started. First thing is that veganism is not about food and it is not actually an ism. Basically, vegetarianism itself is veganism, but it has lost its meaning. People have added animal products like honey, milk, sometimes even egg and chicken to vegetarianism. Some people even eat fish and they consider themselves as vegetarian. So the word lost its meaning. A new word had to be coined, which is called vegan. So a vegan is someone who abstains from animal products as much as possible and practically applicable. And it is not just about food, it is about things like leather, it is about items which contain animal products. So you have to watch out for anything that you pay for. So basically, your money is like your vote. So when you are paying somebody some money or you are paying your money for some product, you're actually voting for that product because that product is being replaced and they're going to use that money and they're going to buy more of it and fill the shelf. So you have to be mindful that it is a lifestyle. Secondly, when you are transitioning to a plant based lifestyle or a vegan lifestyle, give yourself some time. For example, don't think that you have to do it next week or you have to completely shift to it by tomorrow. Give yourself a time frame like 1 year, that within 1 year you are going to make the transition as much as you possibly can. The third point is that maybe you first start with one day of the week. Let's say Monday. uh, they are very famous abroad. They are called meatless Mondays, but you don't have to stick to Monday. Any day you feel comfortable, choose one day and take a pledge that on that particular one day you will be vegan, not just in terms of food but also what you wear, what you watch, what you pay for, including entertainment. So one day of the week you will be a vegan, and then you can add more days as you become more experienced. Fourth advice that I can give you is that it's not take all or leave all, meaning there is a human tendency. If we cannot do something to perfection, we think we should not do it at all. What I mean is that mistakes happen. We live in a society where majority of the people are not vegan. So from time to time, mistakes can happen. Every time you cannot be at the top of your guard. Sometimes you may consume or you may pay for a product which is non-vegan, but understand that if such a mistake happens, acknowledge it's a mistake, forget about it, and again move forward. It's okay to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. So keep that thing in mind. Next is that don't try to convince your family members when you're trying to go vegan. So if you have a wife, you have a mom, you have a brother or sister in your family, and you suddenly discover veganism and you find it so wonderful and you want to now tell everybody about it, my suggestion would be don't do it, because it may appear as if people are going to jump on a good idea, but it takes time for people to get rid of years and years of wrong conditioning. So keep it to yourself first and try to become perfect on your own. You don't have to like become 100% perfect, but try to first transition yourself to a plant based lifestyle and then try to convince other members of your family. Sixth point is to keep a positive and open mind. Try to not fall victim to cynicism, pseudoscience, wrong information. Everything you watch on YouTube is not true. Find scientific evidence and well established evidence to support certain claims. Seventh point is it's very important whether you are a vegan or not a vegan. Many people suffer from vitamin B12 deficiency. I was watching a video recently, and the presenter of the video was, I think, a chartered accountant, I believe, and he's not a vegan. Still, he said he got his vitamin B12 levels checked and it was dangerously low. So understand, even people who eat meat, drink milk, can get B12 deficiency. So as a vegan, especially, you have to take vitamin B12 supplements at least 2000 mcg per week. And if you are pregnant or you have some health problems, make sure you check with a doctor first. Very important. Lastly, every 6 months or 1 year, get all your vitals checked. This is not just for vegans, it is for everybody. You can even take tax deduction under Section 80D of the Income Tax Act for up to 5,000 rupees. So, for example, every year 5,000 rupees you spend on your preventive health checkup, that 5,000 rupees you can claim as a deduction. So, let me summarize these important points which I have learned since I've been a vegan, I think almost since 2006. I started this journey. Let me summarize. A vegan lifestyle is not just about food, it is about what you watch. Meaning, you should not pay for a movie in which they had hurt a dog or they killed any animal. And you should not wear any clothes for which animals have been harmed or killed, like fur, leather. You should not eat something which has been a cause of misery and pain to animals, so on and so forth. There is a rule you should always remember: don't do to others what you would not like to be done to you. So, if you are ever confused, ask yourself, if somebody will do that to me or my loved ones, will I accept that? If somebody will steal my milk, my mother's milk, if somebody is going to steal my flesh or my wife's flesh, if somebody is going to steal my food or my mother's food, how will I feel? So, whenever you are confused, you have nobody to guide you, just go by this golden rule. Don't do to others what you would not like to be done to you. Don't try to do it immediately. Number 3 is start gently, start with 1 day of the week. Fourth, mistakes will happen. Don't worry about it. Just forget about the mistake. Don't think too much about it and move on. Don't create a guilt conscious or take it upon your competency or ego that you need to be perfect all the time. It's better to be 99% vegan or 90% vegan than to be 0% vegan. Imagine if all the people on earth are going to become vegan for 1 day, 1/7 of the problems of global warming, problems of deforestation, land degradation, water degradation, ocean degradation, animal suffering, human suffering will come to an end. That itself is a big achievement. It's 1/7 is better than 0. Don't try to convince with others, argue with others about veganism. I can tell you it can get very, very aggressive. So don't do that. Just keep it to yourself and first you become perfect on your own. Sixth, keep a positive and open mind, because we have been conditioned for years in our lives by religion, by society, by culture, by our well-wishers, by our caretakers, that we have to harm animals if we want to be healthy, if we want to be beautiful, etc., including beauty products like creams, etc. You should be mindful that they are not tested on animals. Now, there are certain medications you can't help it. It's a SOS. If you don't take those medications, you will die. So you have to take it. But if there is an option, always go for creams, cosmetics, which are not tested on animals. Seventh, make sure that you take your B12 supplements. And if you have any kind of health problem, or if you have, you have never taken a B12 test, make sure you do it, because even if you are a meat eater, even if you drink milk, you may be deficient in B12. So it's a good idea to check. And always get yourself checked, irrespective of whether you are on a vegan diet or not, every 6 months or 1 year. And you can get a deduction also for that. All right. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is the reasons why it is important for people to adopt a plant-based lifestyle. First of all, you want to do it for the animals. What happens to hens, pigs, what happens to sheep, goat, rabbits, ducks in the slaughterhouse is not good. Recently, the president of America called the president of Russia a butcher. Why? Because he had waged a war on Ukraine. So, butcher is a term that we use in a derogatory fashion. We call butcher to someone who is very cruel, who is someone who harms others, who decimates others. That's the meaning of butcher, butchering something. Then why do you want to pay such a person? Why do you want to force somebody to adopt that kind of a profession? So, horrible things happen in slaughterhouses. I will tell you more about it later, but for now, first thing is you do not want to do such horrible things to animals. Number two, you are doing it for the planet. The animal agriculture industry, the butchery industry, the slaughterhouses are one of the topmost contributors to global warming, climate change, deforestation, land degradation, water degradation. So, if those things are avoided, the planet will heal itself, or it may heal itself. Thirdly, for your own health, eating trans fat, eating all that saturated fat, hormones which are there in animal products can give you type 2 diabetes, heart attack, hypertension, cancers, etc. So, for your own sake, also, it's a good idea to be a vegan. All right. Next thing that I would suggest you to do is watch some documentaries. Education is very important because everything is educated. When you were born, you were given a name, you were given an identity, a culture, and now we are just sticking to that. We cannot change that. It has become part of our subconscious. It will take education to rise above that. So here are some documentaries which I recommend that you watch. First is called Cowspiracy. Game Changers, it's a health documentary. Sea Piracy, this is on fishing. So very important documentary. Should watch it. Forks Over Knives, again it's on health. What the Health, another health documentary. And Food Incorporated, to learn how modern food is produced. All these documentaries are easy watch. They don't contain any graphic content. Now the documentaries over here is something which can be tough watch. I mean, don't watch it with kids. Watch it alone and only watch it. I recommend you watch it if you can. You know, it's going to be a tough watch, but you need to understand what this industry is all about. So first documentary is Earthlings. You can find it on YouTube. Another one is called Dominion. This is not a documentary. This is a movie. It's called Okja. So optionally, you can watch the movie also. Watching documentaries will give you information, a new perspective. It will expand your mind as to what is happening in the world. Now, if you are a book kind of a person, there are certain important books which I recommend you read. This book, How Not to Die, it's on health by Dr. Michael Greger. There's another book called China Study, very important book by T. Colin Campbell. This is a book you can read. There is another book called Reversing Diabetes in 21 Days by Dr. Neil Barnard and its corresponding cooking book. If you want a book from the Indian context, you can read Reversing Diabetes in 21 Days by Dr. Nandita Shah. So all these books are health books. Then I also recommend you read books on animal rights. So there is a very good book by Dr. Melanie Joy on why we love dogs, eat pigs, and wear cows. So she goes into the psychology of carnism. And there is another book by Peter Singer called Animal Liberation, the definitive classic of the animal rights movement. Please understand that there can never be human rights without animal rights. The SPCC, which is Society to the Prevention of Cruelty Towards Children, was a spin-off from the SPCA, which is Society for Prevention of Cruelty Towards Animals. Believe it or not, SPCA was created before SPCC, meaning until there is this idea and seed of speciesism in our mind that my religion is better than your religion, my race is better than your race, my species is better than your species, and that because I am better, I can do anything I want to you. Until this idea is there in people's mind, there can be no human rights and there can be no peace. Because at the underlying cause of every conflict, at the underlying cause of every uh, violation of somebody's right is this idea that somehow I am special and that, I can deserve to do anything I want to others. This utilitarian approach. So, in order to get rid of this idea of speciesism, these books will open your mind. And there are other books also. I don't want to give you so many books to read, but this is just an indication. If you want to read books on cooking, if you go to Amazon and you search for vegan books, you can see that you will get many good books like Ultimate Vegan Indian Cookbook. It's even free. There's another book, Vegan Richa's Indian Kitchen, how to create delicious Indian food. There is gluten-free vegan, Zyka vegan recipes from India, and there are so many vegan cookbooks you can find. There is no shortage of them. Plus, you can go to YouTube, and on YouTube you can search for these channels like Foodotomic, which has such delicious vegan recipes for every Indian dish you can imagine, including international ones like gulab jamun, like pasta. Please understand that veganism is not a lifestyle of deprivation. Many people think that vegans eat grass and that they eat only limited type of food. This is not true. Vegans eat everything that you eat. The only difference is it is made from different ingredients. Vegans also eat gulab jamun. Vegans also eat curd. Vegans also eat ice cream. Like for example, if you search, there is something called white cub ice cream. White cub ice cream or something equivalent you can find in your own area. You can get that. Or if enough pressure is there on the retail chains, they will start to stock vegan ice creams. It's demand and supply. And these ice cream taste exactly the same as an ice cream made from milk. Our taste buds can be programmed. Within 3 months, you can reprogram your taste buds. So you may like something today, but you may not like it later. Like for example, when I used to eat meat, when I used to eat eggs, I used to absolutely savor the flavor of egg. Whenever I used to smell eggs, I used to feel hungry. I loved the smell of eggs. But after being vegan for so long, now I cannot stand the smell of milk and eggs. Can you believe that? Meaning if I smell egg, I have to cover up my nose. It just smells like stink to me. So you can change your perception. You can change your taste buds. Everything is available. It is not a lifestyle of deprivation. All right. So moving on from books, you can follow some YouTube channels also. Let me show you some good channels which I follow. So if you go here, I already showed you this Foodotomic, which I have subscribed to. Another channel is Sharan India Life. You can subscribe to this channel and you can watch their videos. Another good channel is Plant-Based News. So recently they have released this free documentary called Milked, which I also recommend that you watch. This is also a very good channel called Nutrition Facts by Dr. Michael Greger. So basically what Michael Greger does is that every year around 7,000 papers are published on nutrition. He summarizes those papers in a easily human understandable way. For example, you can see, is ginger beneficial in a diabetic diet? Do the health benefits of peanut butter include longevity, etc., etc.? So you can see his amazing videos he creates. Food Atomic, I've already shown you. Another channel which I like is this one called Mercy for Animals. Mercy for Animals is an animal rights organization. Understand that humans are also animals. So animal rights include everything. Lastly, to start with, you can also subscribe to the PETA India channel. All right. Now, moving forward, now let's talk about alternatives. I have already told you that do not fall under this assumption that vegans eat a deprived diet or they eat grass. No, they eat everything that you eat, only that the ingredients are vegan. So, for example, to start with, as a transition, you can try mock meat. I'm not saying you permanently eat it, but just to start with, if you type vegan meat, sausage, for example, vegan mock chicken, vegan mock meat, vegan meat chops, veggies, you can get a lot of vegan meat. So I'm not promoting any brand. You try all of them. Whichever one you like, you can use that. Plant-based chicken nuggets. So everything you can find in a vegan format, like soya chap, for example, etc. Prefer organic ones. Again, I'm not saying that this is healthy food. I'm saying as a transition food. So when you're transitioning, for that, it's good, but definitely they're healthier than actual regular meat. Next are plant-based milks. For example, rice milk, soya milk, coconut milk, almond milk, but make sure they are all organic. Don't consume non-organic soya milk, organic soya milk, etc., organic almond milk. So if you go here, you search for, almond milk. You can actually make them at home also. So you can see these almond milk, but they may be very expensive. So you make them at home. If you go here and you search for make almond milk, so you will get recipes on how to make almond milk at home. Easily you can make them at home. If you don't want to make almond milk, you can say make soya milk. There are machines also available for making soya milk. So you can make soya milk. You can buy organic soya. So you search for organic soya. You can see you have organic soya available, and you can make soya milk from it. You can make curd from it. You can also make paneer from it. Tofu is also available. I'm just using Amazon as an example. You can, of course, I misspelled it. You can see a lot of tofu. I'm not promoting any brand. I'm just showing you that, tofu is available. You can buy it locally also. And prefer to go with organic ones. Next is, whenever you are buying something, let's say, for example, you are buying shoes, search whether vegan alternatives are available. So if you go here and you search for vegan shoe, for example, Bata makes non-leather shoes. Don't go for, you can see vegan leather men's shoes, only 799 rupees. And they look exactly like vegan leather. Men's vegan collection formal shoes. You can see all price ranges available. All these are vegan shoes, vegan sandals. So whenever you are buying leather, go for vegan leather, plant-based leather. You can even make vegan dairy and vegan curd. You can make curd from soya milk. You can even make curd from peanut milk. And one of the good things is, if you are drinking cow's milk, mostly people only drink cow's milk. They don't drink tiger milk, goat milk, buffalo milk, dog milk, camel milk. They only eat or drink cow milk. But as a vegan, you can consume peanut milk, coconut milk, rice milk, hemp milk, soya milk, almond milk. Every day of the week, you can have one new type of milk, if you can. So, to summarize this, there are alternatives available for everything. Whenever you are spending your money, ask yourself, is the product that I am buying has harmed animals? If the answer is yes, search for an alternative, and I can tell you most of the time you will find the alternative. All right. Next is social support. What you can do is you can join a local vegan group in your area, participate in potlucks or activism, and you can also join social media groups. Like, for example, there is a group here. This is called India Vegan Revolution. There are around 37,000 members in the group. There is a group called Vegans in Chandigarh. There is another group called India Vegan Revolution. This I think I've already showed you. There's another one, Vegans in India, with around 23,000 members. This is Sharan's Vegan Support Group. So you can join this group if you want. There is a Delhi NCR Vegan Support Group. You can join Vegan Bangalore Group. So on and so forth. And here is one example of a vegan B12. Again, I'm not promoting any product here. I'm just showing you samples. Like, for example, if you search for vegan B12, you can find this vegan B12. For example, if you click here, the one which I showed you, there's another one over here. And you can see it has the vegan logo. And these are vegetarian capsules. Means the capsule themselves are not made from fish. They are made from plants. There's another one. You can see this is vegan. And this is vegan B12 plus D3. This one is vegan B12 plus veg. Now, again, let me repeat. There are some people who believe that, they can eat curd or they can eat some bacteria fermented food and they can get all the B12 that they want. Well, if you follow that hypothesis, all I can say is just keep testing your B12 levels. Whether you are a vegan or not a vegan, always make sure every 6 months or 1 year you check your B12 levels and make sure they are optimal. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. It's not as difficult as you think it is. And like anything, once you get into the groove, once you get into the rhythm, it becomes part of your life. See, nobody in this world eats everything. For example, there are people who will say that they don't want to eat pigs. There are some people say they don't want to eat cows. Some people will say we don't want to eat dogs. Some people will say we don't want to eat cats. And under any circumstances, they will not eat it. So there is nobody in the world who eats everything. Similarly, veganism is a lifestyle of peace and harmony. It is practiced peace. It is something that it's a change that you can make without requesting anything from your government, anything in terms of your lawmakers, etc. It is a decision you can take today that yes, within 1 year, I have to switch, I have to adopt a plant-based lifestyle. I will become more aware and more cautious about where I'm spending my money, whether my actions are harming somebody or not. And it is compatible with every philosophy. I do not think that there is any religion or any philosophy in the world which will tell you that you have to harm the animals, you have to harm the humans, you have to harm the planet. So if you have any questions, you can put it in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer them. Take care and wish you best of luck in your journey to become a vegan.